Most people think abstract paintings are just random colors on a canvas. But what if every brushstroke actually tells a hidden story? Today, we're going to reveal how abstract art can carry deep meaning and emotion. Imagine the video opening with a quiet and thoughtful scene where a blank canvas rests on a wooden table under soft natural light. The room feels calm, almost like a small creative sanctuary where imagination can breathe freely. The narrator begins speaking gently, inviting the viewer into a deeper journey beyond simple painting. The voice explains that abstract painting is not just about colors and shapes placed randomly on a surface. It is a language of emotion, a visual form of storytelling where feelings, memories, and ideas transform into lines, textures, and vibrant shades. Every abstract painting carries meaning, even if that meaning is not immediately obvious. Sometimes the meaning lives within the artist's mind, while other times it grows inside the viewer who experiences the artwork in their own personal way. The camera slowly moves closer to the blank canvas, emphasizing the powerful potential hidden within its empty space. The narrator reminds viewers that every masterpiece begins with nothing more than possibility. In this moment, the artist is not thinking about perfection or rules. Instead, they are thinking about emotion. What feeling should this painting express? Should it represent calmness like the gentle movement of water, or energy like a storm of color bursting across the sky? Abstract art allows the artist to translate invisible emotions into visible forms. The artist lifts a pencil and lightly sketches the first lines onto the canvas. These lines are not meant to create a realistic image like a landscape or portrait. Instead, they act as guides for movement and balance. Some lines curve softly while others intersect, forming shapes that hint at a deeper composition. The narrator explains that abstract painting often begins with this quiet exploration. The artist allows intuition to lead the way rather than following strict plans. As the sketch develops, the camera captures the delicate texture of the pencil marks. They appear almost like whispers across the canvas, suggesting where color and energy will later appear. The narrator describes how abstract art invites the viewer to look beyond the obvious. A curved line might symbolize growth, a circle might represent unity, and a sharp angle might express tension or movement. Once the sketch feels balanced, the artist reaches for the first color. The palette reveals a variety of shades, each carrying its own emotional energy. The narrator explains that color is one of the most powerful elements in abstract painting because it speaks directly to the human mind. Bright yellow can symbolize hope or warmth. Deep blue can evoke calmness or mystery, while bold red may express passion or intensity. The brush touches the canvas for the first time, and the transformation begins. The first stroke is bold and confident, spreading color across the surface like a spark of life entering the composition. The narrator reflects on how every brushstroke represents a decision, a moment where the artist chooses how the story of the painting will unfold. Slowly, the artist begins layering colors across the canvas. Some areas are painted with smooth gradients where colors blend gently into one another. Other sections feature energetic strokes that create movement and rhythm. These contrasting textures make the artwork feel alive, as if the colors themselves are interacting with one another. The narrator now begins to explore the deeper meaning behind abstract painting. Unlike traditional art that clearly shows a subject, abstract art invites viewers to discover meaning through interpretation. One person might see waves of emotion flowing across the canvas, while another might imagine landscapes, memories, or personal experiences hidden within the colors. This openness of interpretation is what makes abstract art so powerful. It allows every viewer to form a personal connection with the artwork. The painting becomes more than an image. It becomes a conversation between the artist and the audience. As the painting continues to develop, The artist adds darker tones to create contrast and depth. Shadows appear behind brighter colors, making them glow more intensely. The narrator explains that contrast is essential in art because it creates visual balance. Without darkness, light cannot shine as brightly. The camera slowly captures the texture of the paint building across the canvas. Some areas become thick with layers, creating raised surfaces that catch the light. Other sections remain soft and smooth, allowing the viewer's eye to rest before moving toward more energetic parts of the composition. The narrator encourages viewers to notice how the painting evolves organically. The artist may begin with a certain idea, but the process itself often reveals new directions. A color placed in one area might inspire another color elsewhere. A shape that appears accidentally may become the central focus of the piece. Abstract painting is often a dialogue between control and spontaneity. The artist guides the composition, but also allows unexpected moments to shape the final result. This balance between intention and freedom is what makes the creative process exciting. As more layers are added, the painting begins to feel more complete. Shapes interact with colors, forming visual pathways that guide the viewer's eyes across the canvas. The narrator explains that the meaning of the painting is slowly emerging through these relationships. Perhaps the painting represents a journey from chaos to harmony. Perhaps it symbolizes emotional growth or the connection between nature and human imagination. The beauty of abstract art is that the meaning does not need to be explained completely. Instead, it invites curiosity and reflection. The artist now steps back from the canvas for a moment, observing the artwork from a distance. This pause is an important part of the creative process. It allows the artist to see the composition as a whole and understand how each element contributes to the overall balance. A few final adjustments are made. A bright highlight is added to draw attention to a central area. A darker tone is blended into the background to deepen the sense of space. These finishing touches bring harmony to the entire piece. The narrator reflects on how the painting has transformed from a blank canvas into a rich and expressive artwork filled with color, texture, and emotion. What began as a simple idea has grown into a visual story that carries meaning beyond words. The camera slowly pans across the finished painting, revealing its details and depth. Each brushstroke now feels intentional. Each color seems to belong exactly where it is. The narrator explains that this transformation represents the true power of creativity. Abstract painting teaches us that meaning can exist in many forms. Sometimes it appears through recognizable shapes, and other times it lives within color, movement, and emotion. Art does not always need to explain itself clearly. Sometimes its purpose is simply to make us feel something. As the video continues, the narrator begins to speak directly to the viewers, encouraging them to explore their own creativity. Many people believe they cannot paint because they are not trained artists. However, abstract art does not require strict rules or perfect techniques. All it requires is imagination and the willingness to experiment. A blank canvas is not something to fear. It is an opportunity waiting to be discovered. The artist places the finished painting against a wall where light gently illuminates its surface. The colors glow softly, revealing the layers built throughout the process. The narrator reminds viewers that art has the power to transform spaces, bringing inspiration and beauty into everyday life. In the closing moments of the video, the camera returns once more to the original blank canvas that appeared at the beginning. The narrator shares a final thought that resonates deeply. Every painting begins with a single brushstroke. Every idea begins with a moment of imagination. And every person has the ability to create something meaningful if they allow their creativity to flow freely. The screen slowly fades while the artwork remains visible for a few seconds longer. The message left in the viewer's mind is simple yet powerful. Abstract painting is not just about color on canvas. It is about turning feelings into visual stories and discovering meaning within the creative journey itself. As the camera lingers on the finished abstract painting, the narrator's voice becomes softer, almost reflective, inviting the viewer to look beyond the surface of the colors and shapes. The painting is no longer just a collection of brushstrokes. It has become a visual echo of the thoughts and emotions that shaped it. The viewer begins to realize that abstract painting is not only about creating something beautiful, but about discovering meaning in the act of creation itself. The canvas that once appeared empty now carries layers of expression, memory, and imagination, and each viewer who looks at it may experience a slightly different story unfolding within its colors. The camera slowly glides across the artwork, capturing subtle textures where paint overlaps and blends together. In one area, bold strokes of color appear energetic and alive, while in another section, softer shades fade gently into one another like a quiet moment of calm. The narrator explains that abstract painting often mirrors the complexity of human emotion. Just as life contains both excitement and stillness, joy and reflection, abstract art can hold many different feelings within the same space. This balance between contrast and harmony is what gives the painting its depth and character. As the video continues, the narrator begins to speak more directly to the audience, inviting them to imagine what the painting might represent to them personally. One viewer might see movement in the sweeping lines, almost like wind flowing across an open landscape. Another might feel a sense of peace in the blending colors, as though the artwork captures the quiet beauty of a sunset. Someone else might notice the contrast between bright and dark tones and interpret it as a symbol of transformation or growth. The beauty of abstract painting lies in this openness. There is no single correct interpretation. The artwork becomes a mirror for the viewer's own imagination. The artist in the video quietly studies the painting once more, observing how the colors interact with one another under the changing light. Sometimes abstract artists spend long moments simply looking at their work, not to change it, but to understand it more deeply. The narrator explains that during the creative process, artists often discover meanings they did not consciously plan. What begins as a spontaneous brushstroke may later feel like an important part of the painting's emotional story. The camera briefly returns to earlier stages of the painting process, showing faint glimpses of the initial sketch lines that guided the composition. These delicate lines remind viewers that even the most expressive artwork often begins with simple beginnings. The narrator reflects on how creativity grows step by step, layer by layer. The first mark on a blank surface might feel small or uncertain, but it opens the door to endless possibilities. As the video transitions back to the finished artwork, the narrator begins discussing the deeper purpose of abstract art in the modern world. In a time where life often moves quickly and attention is constantly divided, abstract painting offers a moment of pause. It encourages people to slow down and observe carefully. Instead of providing immediate answers, it invites contemplation and curiosity. When someone stands in front of an abstract painting, they are not just looking at an object. They are experiencing an atmosphere. atmosphere created by color, movement, and texture. The painting becomes a space where thoughts can wander freely and emotions can be explored without words. This quiet interaction between viewer and artwork is one of the most meaningful aspects of abstract art. The camera now shows the painting displayed in a living space, hanging gently on a wall where natural light shifts throughout the day. The narrator explains that abstract paintings often transform the atmosphere of a room. Their colors bring warmth or energy, while their forms create visual interest that changes depending on how the viewer approaches the artwork. Art in this sense becomes more than decoration. It becomes part of daily life, offering inspiration each time someone passes by and notices a new detail within the composition. Abstract art rarely reveals everything at once. Instead, it continues to unfold over time, offering new impressions and interpretations with each viewing. The narrator then begins to share an inspiring message for viewers who may feel curious about creating their own art. Many people believe that painting requires special talent or years of training. While practice and learning certainly help artists develop their skills, the heart of abstract painting is not perfection. It is expression. Anyone who can hold a brush and place color on a surface can begin exploring abstract art. The most important element is not technical accuracy, but the willingness to experiment and observe. Every artist starts somewhere, often with uncertainty or hesitation, but creativity grows stronger with each attempt. The video shows the artist preparing a new blank canvas beside the finished painting. This simple gesture carries a powerful message. Creativity is never finished. Each completed artwork leads to new ideas and possibilities. The journey continues with every new canvas. The narrator describes how artists often find inspiration in unexpected places. The colors of a sunset might inspire a new palette. The rhythm of music might influence the movement of brushstrokes. Even everyday emotions such as happiness, curiosity, or reflection can shape the direction of a painting. Abstract art becomes a visual diary of these experiences, capturing moments of thought and feeling that might otherwise remain invisible. In this way, every painting becomes unique, not only because of its colors and shapes, but because of the personal journey behind it. As the video approaches its final moments, the camera slowly returns to the finished painting once more. The narrator encourages viewers to take one last look at the artwork and notice the layers of creativity that built it. Beneath the colors lies the memory of the first sketch. Beneath the textures lies the rhythm of the brush as it moved across the canvas. What began as a blank space has now become a vibrant expression of imagination and meaning. The transformation from emptiness to artistic creation reminds us that creativity is always waiting for a chance to appear. The narrator's voice becomes calm and encouraging as the closing message unfolds. Art does not require perfection, and it does not demand strict rules. What it asks for is curiosity, patience, and the courage to explore ideas freely. Every person has the ability to create something meaningful, whether through painting, drawing, or any other form of artistic expression. Sometimes the most powerful ideas emerge when we allow ourselves to experiment without worrying about the final result. The camera slowly fades between the blank canvas and the completed painting, emphasizing the incredible journey that took place between those two moments. The narrator leaves the viewers with one final inspiring thought. Somewhere right now, there is another blank canvas waiting, another idea waiting quietly in someone's imagination. And perhaps the next abstract painting filled with meaning will begin with a single brushstroke, placed with curiosity and hope. The screen gently fades to black, while the colors of the painting remain in the viewer's memory, reminding them that creativity is not something distant or unreachable. It is something that begins the moment we allow our imagination to move freely across the canvas of possibility.